faces in the audience, and very excited to welcome all the folks who are joining us online as well. This year's conference is truly hybrid. We have over 1,000 people joining us from around the world, in person and online, and we've got a lot of great programming in store for you. I hope you'll take advantage of the many opportunities that we'll have for you to connect with each other. Those of you here in person will have lots of opportunities to chat with others during lunch breaks and coffee breaks and during tonight's reception. And to everyone joining us online, we have lots of exciting activities planned for you, including meet and greets with speakers and other networking opportunities on a platform called Shindig. So I think, as I think about ISOJ and the work that we do, I think two of the best aspects are, one, the learning and knowledge sharing that always takes place here, and then two, the community building that inevitably happens when you're surrounded by people who care about the future of journalism and want to help shape it. So whether you're an ISOJ groupie or an ISOJ newbie, you're all part of our global community of ISOJers. And I can attest to the fact that countless collaborations and ideas have taken root here at ISOJ throughout the years, and I have no doubt that the same will be true this year. So I encourage you to sit back, enjoy the sessions, and get to know your fellow ISOJers. Just a couple of quick notes before we get too far into our programming. We do have live interpretation into Spanish, so if you are joining here in person, we have headsets available for you to tune into Spanish. If you're following along online, if you click the interpretation globe in your Zoom screen, you can select the Spanish channel and listen in Spanish. And then lastly, I just want to give a moment to thank this year's sponsors, including Knight Foundation and Google News Initiative, our two major sponsors who have really helped us to expand ISOJ throughout the years. And also want to thank our other sponsors, which include Univision, which is sponsoring the live interpretation, as well as NewsPack, the Content Authenticity Initiative, and UT's Moody College of Communication. And now, without further ado, I want to introduce my dear colleague, Rosental Alves, who's the founder and director of the Knight Center and ISOJ. His collegial spirit, creative energy, and innovative vision have made ISOJ a premier global journalism conference, or as Rosental likes to say, the best journalism conference in the galaxy and the vicinity. So let's give a big round of applause to Rosental.
Thank you, Mallary. Yes, we are very modest here. So I start my classes every day calling "Good Morning, America." So I start now. I start ISOJ saying "Good Morning, World" because we are really global. So here we go again. Welcome to the 24th International Symposium on Online Journalism. You have just seen on the screens, the future of journalism starts here. I was surprised when I saw that sentence on the ISOJ intro video my friend Arthur Furtado created. I remember when the University of Texas at Austin began to use the motto, "What starts here changes the world," created by my Moody College colleague, Neil Burns. I loved that slogan, and I have since truly taken it to heart. So when Arthur showed me the video, I thought, yes, great match, ISOJ and UT Austin. The future of journalism starts here. Exaggeration, hyperbole. Would it be just a typical idiosyncratic characteristic of a Brazilian who migrated to Texas 27 years ago? Maybe. Indeed, both Brazil and Texas are big, huge, and definitely immodest about their grandiosity. But yes, Arthur, who, by the way, is Brazilian too, is right. The future of journalism starts here at ISOJ. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that for 24 years, the future of journalism has started here for many people who, like me, learn a lot at ISOJ year after year. The future of journalism has started here thanks to the diversity of topics we have been discussing in this amazing forum of media executives, researchers, journalism professors, and students from around the world. And when I say around the world, we are not using any Brazilian Texan exaggeration. We have at least 29 countries represented here among the in-person attendees. And last time I checked, we had 89 countries represented among the hundreds of remote attendees. In total, we have more than 100,190 people registered for the hybrid ISOJ conference, with nearly 400 here in Austin, and the last count was 809 remote attendees spread throughout all time zones in this globe. Video streaming is not new for ISOJ. We have had streaming since 1999, when not many people knew that live video via internet was even possible. Very few people had enough bandwidth for video, and even fewer had Real Player, the app needed to watch videos online. The novelty now is that our remote attendees benefit, like Mallary said, from much more than just live streaming. While waiting for the holographic devices and other fancy new ways of telepresence that are hopefully coming up, we keep experimenting with ways to make remote ISOJ attendees engaged with the conference as much as people here in person. ISOJ would not be possible without the support from Knight Foundation and Google News Initiative, our major sponsors. Knight and Google, like Mallary said, have been helping us for many years, and we are very grateful to them. Our gratitude goes also to the other sponsors, starting with the Moody College of Communication, that also sponsors the Moody party tonight, so don't miss that. Univision Noticias, which also supports our great simultaneous interpretation in Spanish. Actually, Univision gave us the idea of doing that. Newspack by Automatic, and Content Authenticity Initiative. Finally, I want to thank all the people who have worked hard to put this conference together, including the Knight Center for Journalism in the Americas staff, and especially our MC, Mallary Tenore, Knight Center's Associate Director, and Teresa Mioli, Maria Saad, Filipa Rodriguez, Liliana Valenzuela, and everybody else. And all the volunteers who are here to help us, and we are very grateful to them too. I now want to call the Dean of the Moody College of Communication, Dr. J. Bernhardt, who will welcome you on behalf of the college, and will be followed by Dr. Sonia Feigenbaum, Senior Vice Provost for Global Engagement at UT Austin, who will welcome you on behalf of the university. We're very honored to have both here. Thank you very much.
Good morning. And good afternoon and evening to wherever those people may be around the galaxy who are joining us today. We're delighted to be with you today. And again, for the last time for me, it's my honor, one final time, to welcome all of you to ISOJ on behalf of the Moody College of Communication here at the University of Texas at Austin. And this is my last semester here welcoming you in this role as dean, because in a little more than a month, I'm going to be departing UT Austin to become the 13th president of Emerson College up in Boston. Thank you, thank you very much. But as I wind down my final weeks as dean of what I think is the best college of communication in the universe, not more than the galaxy, after serving for almost 8 years, and as I was preparing today's remarks, I've been reflecting on the incredible work done and performed by the Knight Center for Journalism in the Americas at this conference, and really wanted to spend a couple moments to brag on just how incredible this is. And as the dean, I've gotten to see this up close now for the last 8 years. And as attendees and as participants, you all get to come and hear and benefit from the wisdom of this group. But as dean, I've been really honored to work with them and help them when I can to continue their incredible work. For 24 years now, ISOJ has been the go-to conference for discussing the present and future of online journalism. They're tireless in their work. Even COVID-19 could not stop them. They used the opportunity of the pandemic to get even better in their impact and their reach, as many of you probably already know. During the pandemic, they launched a series of new initiatives, including online courses and webinars. They partnered with the WHO and UNESCO and others to really increase their reach and impact, with programs translated into 13 languages, reaching thousands of journalists from nearly every country in the world, and providing high-level training during the pandemic when journalists needed it most. My own background is in health communication as a scholar and practitioner, so I was really impressed and grateful that the work that they performed helped to train journalists how to cover one of our lifetime's most complex and important and impactful stories, and do so throughout the world in a way to help bring credible science and information to the public. I'm also amazed that the Knight team developed innovative ways of engaging online attendees during the 2 years of this symposium that were offered completely online. Last year, thankfully, in this room, we returned in person, and even now, they've developed creative ways to engage remote attendees, with engaging speakers as they're here and other ISOJers throughout the symposium. It's really a hybrid conference now, with huge numbers being engaged and reached, as Rosental shared, ample opportunities to learn and network and be inspired, and whether you're attending here in person or online. Professor Alves created ISOJ almost a quarter century ago, when the internet's seismic effects on journalism and the media were just being realized at the very beginning. Since then, it's become the barometer of the state of online journalism throughout the world. And through the mix of keynote sessions here, which you'll hear this morning, panels and workshops and research and more, ISOJ continues to convene some of the brightest minds in the industry to talk about the pressing challenges and help, pave the way for the opportunities for online journalism in the future. I'm sure you'll learn a great deal from these experts over the next 2 days. I encourage you also to get to know each other. The cross-section of experts represented here is certainly impressive, and I hope you'll take the time to network during the coffee breaks and lunches, at tonight's Moody-sponsored reception. Have a drink on us, or two. And I hope that for those of you here in person, you'll also get out of the hotel and get a few minutes to enjoy Austin. We have beautiful weather for you, at least I think we do. It's been beautiful the last few days, and there's a lot of amazing things in Austin here to see. So before I close on a personal level, I really want to take a moment to thank Rosental and Mallary and Teresa and the amazing team at the Knight Center for the incredible work they do. Putting this meeting together takes a village. It takes more hours than you would believe, and I'm so grateful for what they do all the time for the Knight Center and for Moody College, and to make something like this possible. So thank you, guys. I also want to thank our sponsors, particularly the Knight Foundation and the Google News Initiative. They are such important partners for our work, as well as I'm sure many of your work, and the impact and change they help bring to the field is significant. So finally, again, I also want to thank all of you for being here, for those of you watching remotely, for all the support you've brought to our college to help make a difference to the Knight Center and to ISOJ. I hope you all enjoy the 24th annual ISOJ, and I hope that our paths continue to cross. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce our next speaker and my friend from UT Austin, the Senior Vice Provost for Global Engagement, Dr. Sonia Feigenbaum. Thank you.
Good morning, and thank you for the warm welcome, Dean Bernhardt, and congratulations on an amazing 8 years of leadership strength and growth for the Moody School of Communications and on your new role as president of Emerson College. Thank you so much. It's really a privilege and an honor to be here with all of you this morning. I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to Rosental Alves, Mallary Tenore, to the Knight Center, and to everyone who has had a hand in making this symposium possible. I, in turn, would like to welcome you on behalf of the University of Texas at Austin and to the 24th ISOJ. It is inspiring and humbling to celebrate the success of ISOJ, 24 years of vision, and I will add a couple years of planning before the 24 years. Bringing together journalists, scholars, media executives, and thought leaders from around the world to pause and reflect upon a profession that enriches our minds, connects us to one another, encourages us that we need to question, analyze, and reflect upon the impact of our actions in the world. To seek a truth, to investigate, to collect, to write, and adapt to new technologies in a multitude of languages and circumstances is a necessity for humanity to stay accountable. Today we are joined by 77 speakers from 18 countries, and I know there's really 89 countries and over 1,000, 1,200 of you that are listening or that are going to be joining throughout the symposium. And these speakers will share their perspectives about the future of journalism, the impact of AI on the field, social media, its role, the role of philanthropy. And I just met this wonderful human being, Mar Cabra, who is going to talk also about mental health in the field of journalism. So thank you for your work. This is truly a global event. And before we begin, I would like to take this opportunity to contextualize the symposium within the framework of global engagement on the 40 acres. UT Austin, we dearly call it the 40 acres. We here are a leading global university with more than 52,000 students, over 3,000 faculty members, and 18 schools and colleges, and one of my many ambitions is to increase our visibility and advance our reputation around the world. We do so by supporting our faculty and students and building a portfolio of resources that represent the university's breadth and scope of work through a global lens. In May 2022, President Jay Hartzell introduced a 10-year strategic plan to increase the university's impact, building on our motto, "What starts here changes the world." President Hartzell has said, "The University of Texas at Austin will become the highest impact public research university in the world." We like to think big. That aspiration rests on 5 strategic and interconnected pillars that are core to the university's impact: people, place, and our pursuits of experiences, education, and research. Global engagement, thankfully, is woven into the fabric of every initiative and strategic goal, and I'm delighted to share that we've already begun to take action. We opened our first global gateway in Mexico City in 2022. Mucho gusto a todos los mexicanos y gracias por estar aquí. As we pilot this gateway, we will explore additional sites worldwide that align with the confluence of faculty activity, student engagement, and alumni presence. Whether students are international or from the United States, we want to ensure that studying, researching, or interning abroad is part of their degree programs, and we consistently seek funding to provide scholarships and ensure access for all. We support our international students and scholars on campus with programs to make UT Austin their home away from home. And next year, we will have the first ever global lounge, a space that our international and domestic students and scholars will be available for them to come together and also to congregate with our alumni all over the world via web. We've created funding opportunities to support our faculty's collaborative research, creative activities, curriculum innovation, and we encourage linkages around the world. We're engaging with our alumni abroad to bring a focus on the academic output of the university. And during the pandemic, we created the Texas Global Dialogues, bringing together academic leaders and distinguished alumni to share their expertise in distinct fields. I'm really proud to say that our first dialogue took place virtually, focused on information and disinformation in Latin America, and Rosental Alves was at the heart of the conversation, along with journalists from Mexico and Argentina. It was a great success, and we have begun to take these dialogues abroad. I just returned from Singapore and Taiwan, and I look forward to our continued collaboration with the Knight Center and with Moody for our next dialogue in person and in Latin America and beyond. In August, we will be the U.S. University, the first U.S. University guest of honor at the Feria Internacional de Libros para Universitarios y Universitarias at the UNAM in Mexico City, acronym FILUNI. UT will hold 50 events focused on 3 strategic themes: health and well-being, technology and society, energy and the environment. And I'm delighted to share that faculty at the Moody College of Communication will present, showcasing their expertise in journalism and film. As we turn our attention to today's symposium, please allow me to express my deep appreciation for your work and for the mission of ISOJ. The persecution and threats that journalists endure around the world concerns us all, and I'm convinced that the breadth and depth of your discussions during ISOJ and beyond will be instrumental in advancing the field and in making sure that information gets to all of us. I will leave you with our motto, "What starts here changes the world." Your presence here will change us, and we're so grateful for that. Thank you.